Hey savages, it's Sunday morning. It's a beautiful day. You can probably hear the traffic, it's just endless. And it's the 20th of December, so we're pretty much in the solstice. I know technically people will say maybe that some people will say it's the 20th, some will say it's the 21st. I would tend to say I felt it from yesterday, so it lasts a number of days. You know, in a sense, it lasts till Christmas. It lasted 25th, 26th. You could say it lasts till the end of the year. Personally, I'm trying to work until the end of the year. I'm trying to be conscious that every day is to stay tuned in, especially during these solstice days around death. I have a couple of posts on Instagram, which I already know are challenging people. It's dredging up the fucking pain and the anxiety and the unhappiness and fucking hell. But that's what the solstice is. Rebirth. You can't be reborn unless you die. So if you're reading these posts, now in the next couple of days I'm going to have the whole thing on my website, so it'll just be one long post. Otherwise, there's going to be about 5 posts on Instagram because you just have character limits and all that kind of shite. But you can read the whole thing on the website in a couple of days' time. And when you read it, you're going to be traumatized at times and think, oh my God, this is such a hard story. His life was so hard and all this kind of stuff. All that pain that you feel is your pain. It's nothing to do with me. I'm fine. I'm in Mexico. I'm eating nice food. I'm getting tanned. I'm walking in the sun. I'm doing all right. I don't want, touch wood, it is the solstice, so we don't know what's going to unfold in the next 24 hours or few days. I might not be here anymore, but I'm doing well. So if you feel traumatized while reading that, that's you. You know, there's 2 reasons I put those posts up. One was to work personally with the solstice, for me to dredge and to revisit that energy of who I am and where I've come from, and the importance of these depths. The article is called 3 Depths. These layers are essential. I wouldn't do anything different. The world is upside down. We want pleasure and nice things and happiness. Cool, enjoy it. But there's huge growth in the trauma and the challenges and the pain. So while you're reading that, you're reading an epic hero's journey. It has been for me. It has transformed my life. It's been fantastic. It's been priceless. You couldn't buy that transformation. So one reason has been for the solstice to re-encounter that energy for my own growth. The second reason is for you, dear reader, for the people who stumble upon it and read it and go, oh my God, his life was so hard. It was me being tricky and sneaky and stirring up your own shit so that you have an opportunity to work, or you have an opportunity to see who you are. I was in a holotropic breathwork ceremony 2 or 3 years ago, and I remember at the end of it sharing, I was very aware that, and I shared, we all shared our experience, and I said I'm very grateful, that I brought my light to this event, to this day, but I also brought my darkness. I was aware that I had brought my darkness for people to work with. It's essential. So when I wrote those articles, I was aware that I'm showing you your pain. You're going to read this and maybe get fucked up. Some people skim through it. It won't touch them. They won't feel anything. It's just a story. And some will be triggered in places or challenged in places or afraid of that happening to them or someone they know. So I'm purposely stirring up your pot. I'm working with you. If you're listening to my podcast or reading my articles or following me in any way, you're working with me. If you don't want to work, you can follow nice people who tweet or post nice pictures of fucking butterflies and love and light and nice quotes that'll make you feel good. I'm a worker. I'm a workhorse. And I'm here to fucking challenge myself and challenge people. So that's part of this. You should be paying me, for fuck's sake. If you're not paying me already, you should buymeacoffee.com/Spawn Evolution. Being a cheeky fucker. The other thing in today's podcast, it even sounds strange to call a podcast, but was just I've been contemplating the fucking beauty and perfection of this pandemic. It is exquisite. And let me just try briefly to touch on why. prior to this pandemic, we had terrorists, oh my God. We had invaders who were invading countries and they had to get out. We had black versus white, men versus women, rich versus poor. And there's loads of stuff that I'm sure I forgot. The terrorists have disappeared for some reason. Greta, the climate scientist, not at all, has disappeared as well, thank God. You know, lots of these events and the daily trauma has disappeared to give us one exquisitely designed event that activates all of us. Not all on the planet. There's plenty of people who are oblivious to this, who couldn't give a fuck, who live in the desert somewhere or in the snow or wherever, underground, in the caves. They don't care, they don't know. But for the vast majority of us, we're activated in some way by this design, this intelligent design. You know, the anti-vaxxers are all protesting, they're fucking kicking up. The pro-vaxxers are all protesting and kicking up because they need the vaccine. You know, the conspiracy theorists, the QAnoners, the pro-Trumpers, the anti-Trumpers, the Biden will save us, Trump will save, whoever. There's people in so many facets now who are all activated and triggered and afraid. If they're old, they're afraid of dying. If they're young and stupid, they're probably afraid of dying because they're afraid it's going to get to them. It's activating so many of us. One event. It's incredible. And as I've said before, if you want to be that great tennis player, you need a great opponent. You need people who can try to beat you, who are going to push you, who are going to make you better. So if we want to awaken, if we have a planet full of sleeping beings, what are we going to do? We're going to need an opponent. We're going to need a teacher. We're going to need an event that will activate them, that will shake them out of their slumber. This is it. It's fantastic. It is magnificent. You know, that one event that's not even a flu, barely a flu, doesn't even kill people. You know, kills a handful of people, old people maybe, the frail with other conditions. But yet, look at the change it's had on the world. It is fantastic. So you can decide, you know, what camp do I want to get in? Who am I along this path? Am I going to go out and hold my banner and protest against vaccinations or protest against whatever, you know, lockdowns or whatever it may be? What can I integrate in relation to this? Now, here's the crux of it all. Most of the planet is not at an awakening stage. We are addicts. We're addicted to this chemical suit. You know, all these chemicals, anxiety, excitement. We love cigarettes, we love drink, we love sex, we love drugs, we love... It's this, shooting heroin is the same thing as watching the news every day. It's all shooting up chemicals into the body. We are a walking chemistry set. We're addicted to the fear, anxiety, addicted to the drama on social media. Oh my God, what's going to happen next? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's an addiction. Give me more. Oh, put it in my veins. So most of us are addicted to all this. We're not complete. We're not at the end of the road yet. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drug addict. I'm sober 20-something years. I needed to get to the end of the road with that. If someone had removed alcohol and drugs, I wouldn't have got complete with that journey. I'm grateful for it. I needed it. So now we have enlisted intelligent design to present us with this huge drug for people to get complete with the addiction. And many are. And many are just strung out on it. Fucking give me more fear. They love it. But it's all good. Now, for those of us who've maybe got through the fear and gone, I'm complete with that journey. I'm complete with the addiction of whatever it may be, news media or pro-vaccine or anti... Because it's pro and anti-vaccine is the same energy. You're on the same side of the coin. If you're with the elite or if you're against the elite, it's the same thing. You're on the same... You're protesting. It's your pain that you're projecting out into the world. And eventually we'll move past that. And eventually we can sit back in the seats and observe the show. Not get sucked into the show, not believe the show. Move beyond it. See this intelligent design for what it is, how magnificent and beautiful it is. Less and less and less and less, if any, triggering and go, wow, this is absolutely beautiful. This is amazing. The great opponent has been presented and people are training with it. Fantastic. So it's worth contemplating that, stepping back and looking at this incredible event that has never before happened as far as I know or remember. on Earth and humanity. We're getting to watch the whole world train in the gym, on the tennis court, lifting weights, getting stronger, getting complete with their dependencies and addictions. Us, all of us. There's no wrong move. If you're deep in the addiction of fear, it's okay. You're not less evolved than the spiritual guru on the mountain or the fucking yoga teacher or any of this. You're on the same path. He or she had to go through that addiction too. You're all equal. You're all... Equal's the wrong word to use. But you're all on that same path. It's all good. If you're deep in fear, if you're deep in anger, if you're anti-vax, if you're pro-vax, it's okay. You're getting complete with your drug of choice. That's all it is. It'll burn out eventually. Get it all into you. I used to say to people when I got sober, the best thing really for an alcoholic, there's 2 solutions to alcoholism. One is alcohol. The other is the 12 steps of AA to get sober. So often, if I encounter people who are struggling, drinking too much or using too much grass or drugs or whatever, I'd say fucking take more. Go for it. Get complete with it. Don't run away from it. Allow it to absorb you. Give up. Surrender to it. Let it get burned out. If you're terrified of the news or social media, get sucked in, get lost, get so sick of it that you fucking can't take it anymore, that you're done, then you've moved beyond it. Your system has banked that experience. Complete, box ticked. Evolution is now happening. Anyway, thanks for listening. If this was of use or of interest, you can buy me a coffee. There's a link below. buymeacoffee.com/spontaneous. No, /spawn evolution. That's what it's called. Newsletter link below and all the rest of it and other stuff. Be well. Enjoy the solstice. Happy Christmas.